Hello, folks. Welcome to episode 5 of the GingerLion's Minecraft modded Let's Play. Um, last week, last show, you saw me make this energetic infuser and the steam dynamo and connect it to a source of water and produce myself my alumite pick, which is charged with redstone flux. Well, I've been in between episodes trying to decide exactly what I wanted out of a sword, and while wandering through one of the wikis, I came across the fact there's a hidden sword. And so I decided I'd try to make it. This is the first time I'm going to try. It's going to be right here on camera. To make it, you need this full guard pattern, which is not something you can actually make in-game. What you have to do is wander to a village, try to find a Tinker's Construct hut, and hope there's one in it. Luckily, the village right near me has 3 Tinker's Construct huts in it, and one of them had this full guard. So, I am going to make a full guard out of paper. It takes quite a lot of material, if I understand correctly. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. There we go. But there we are. There's a full guard out of paper. That will allow my tool to be writable and shouldn't have any significant effect on the durability of the tool. Let me see. And I had decided that I wanted to make the tool rod, which is the handle of the sword, out of cactus. Sounds weird, but it adds an ability called, what is it called? I don't exactly remember the name, but as the durability of the tool decreases, it tends to cause more damage. I believe it's called splintering now that I think about it. So there's my handle, and there's my guard, and now I need to make my sword blade. And I think I'm going to make the sword blade just the same way that I did last time. I'm going to use a block of alumite. Now, it only takes 1 ingot. There's nothing in my furnace. I've turned off my output. So I'm going to go over here and toss my alumite into the hopper. It immediately gets loaded into the furnace, as you can see, and begins to get melted up. As soon as it's melted up, I'm going to come over here and pour it out of this faucet onto this casting table and get myself a sword blade. So, let's just wait for this to melt. I'm kind of excited. Actually, while that melts, I'm going to go look at something else, because I've decided that I also need myself an axe, because I'm going to cut down a lot of trees. So let's see. Which one of these books? Here we are. So, let's see. A hatchet? No, that's too simple. I know that there's better axes in here. There we are. I want a lumber axe. This is unfortunately one of the group of higher level tools that are available out of Tinker's Construct, and it's going to take me quite a lot of materials to make. Probably not going to make it this episode. Actually, you know what? I think I will. I'm just going to make it out of simpler materials than I've been working with, because it's only going to be an axe, and it's going to be charged with power anyway. The advantage to this is that it harvests entire trees up to a max height of 30. Which allows me to just chop down trees. It'll be very fast. It'll be very nice. It's going to take a lot of materials, and it's going to take an upgrade. Let me show you the upgrade that I have to make. Over here at the tool station, it doesn't have that. Why is that? Well, let me look at the tool station, and let me see what uses it has. If I surround the tool station in blocks of iron or blocks of gold or emerald or diamond, multiple different choices of colors and whatnot. Let me see, what other choices do I have other than iron? If I used up a lot of copper, no thank you. I could use up a bunch of tin. I think I'm just going to go with iron since I have a reasonable amount of it right now. So I need 4 blocks of iron and 3 seared bricks. Well, if we recall, I put 3 extra seared bricks up here that I didn't really need. So I'm going to use my pick and take away 3 of these, which will allow me to upgrade my tool station. So 1, 2, 3. There they are. Now, where's the third one? Come on, come on. There we go. There it is. Found it. If you'll note, all of this is melted, so I'm going to make myself my sword blade. Pink sword blade. Very nice. And now, I need 36 iron. luckily I have that right here. I'm just going to take a full ingot. Over here, I want to know how to use this. I need blocks of iron. Put that in my tool. I need 4. Ooh, I made 5. That's fine. They're easy to change back. I have the 3 seared bricks. All I need to do is come down here and knock down the tool station itself to use it as the center core. Come down here. Uses. That's the U key again. Shift question mark, and there's my tool forge. Now, the tool forge has all of the capabilities that it had, and now it can make some new things, including a battle axe or a lumber axe, which is what I really want to make. So the lumber axe is going to take, it takes some pretty heavy things. That's fine. Right now, I'm going to sit down and make my sword. Now, because this is an unnamed sword, this is not one that lists, I'm just going to have to make it, let's see, full guard, I'm going to try making it right here. I'm going to put my paper guard in here, my alamite sword blade here, my cactus tool rod here, and look, it makes the cutlass. I'm going to call this I'm going to call it Sting. I think this is a great name for a sharp stabby thing. Now, I have Sting, and because I've already made myself these energy cells, I'm just going to go ahead, combine it, and now I have a sword that I can use for a long time, because all I have to do to recharge it is to toss it in here in the energetic infuser. It will begin sucking power out of it. I'm going to turn this back on so that it supplies some power, and in a couple minutes I will have a fully charged sword. Okay, so now let me just take a couple of minutes off camera, and I'm going to make my decisions about exactly how to make my lumber axe, and then you can come back and watch me make it. Hi again, folks. So I made some decisions about exactly what it was that I need. So this tool requires a tough tool rod, which requires 3 materials. I figure putting slime crystals on there, like I did for my pickaxes, will make it much more resilient, much have higher durability, which may or may not have an effect once I've applied the leadstone energy cell. I don't know. The large plate, again, to add durability, I'm going to use obsidian. It's going to use a lot of the obsidian I have left, but that's going to be fine. The tough binding I'm going to make out of paper, because that'll give me writable. And finally, the head I intend to make out of alamite, but I don't have enough alamite, so I'm going to make some more. First, 10 aluminum, 10 iron, 4 obsidian. Toss all that in here. Let's see if it all fits in. Yep, looks like it all fits in. Once all of that melts, looks like my raw aluminum does not want to melt. Let's see what I can do about that. I may have made a mistake in breaking down my aluminum into raw instead of leaving it as blocks. So let me come over here to this crafting table. And see if turning this back into blocks, block of solid ender? That's weird. What happens if I come over here and melt this block of solid ender? Maybe that's strange, but I'm gonna. I can't. Okay, folks, give me just a minute to figure out what's going on. I may have to actually go ahead and smelt some more aluminum just to get what I need. I'll be right back. Hi again, folks. Yep, it looks like I made a pretty large mistake in the process was breaking all my aluminum down. Looks like when you pour aluminum in here and get your blocks of aluminum, better leave them just like that, because otherwise you can only make them into blocks of solid ender, which is, to me, an odd thing for, you know, the aluminum to turn into, but what do I know? So I'm going to go ahead and make all of these blocks of solid ender, and maybe I'll be making a beacon soon, since I clearly have the materials in my hand to do it. So, what I did was tossed all 4 blocks of unsmelted aluminum that I had in, and let's see what I got out of it as a result. 3 ingots of molten aluminum, some molten obsidian, some molten iron, and 3 blocks of molten alumite. Not enough. I'm going to head down into the mines and find myself some aluminum, and I'll be right back. Luckily, it was within 10 feet of my location. There we go. There's some more molten aluminum. That'll definitely be enough. We'll probably have molten aluminum left over, which is fine. I can pour myself some ingots and not have to worry about that. Now, while all that melts and becomes what I need, let's see. I need tough rod made out of slime crystals. There's my tough rod. I can put this back in here and keep my slime crystals. That's good. I need to smelt the obsidian to make myself that plate. So let's make this out of paper. There's my paper tough rod. Let's put that back in here. That's good. I'm going to drop some stuff out of my inventory while I come over and find out what's going on. Let's see. I don't need that stuff anymore. Nor this stuff. Nor this. There we go. A little better. Now, what do I have in here? I have on the bottom some alumite, I have some obsidian, and some aluminum. And I don't know what's going to come out first. So I may have to turn at least some of this into ingots to figure out what's going on. That's fine. Looks like the alumite comes out first. Got a bunch of ingots here, so it's going to take me a couple of minutes. I think I'm going to do this off camera because I think it'll bore you guys. This is, by the way if you have a lot of materials in here and you need to get them out, this is how you get them out one by one. You just put yourself an ingot cast on this table, and you click on the furnace, you get one full ingot out of whatever it is that you got going on, and you just work through them one by one. It's not exactly the fastest thing, but it gets you your ingots without any specific concern. I've been told recently that it might be possible for me to use this the same way I'm using the casting table on the other side, so perhaps I'll try that out sometime later today, and we'll see what we get out of the deal. So, like I said, I'm going to do this off camera, and I'll be right back. Finally. Okay, so what I had forgotten to do is to make casts of the large plate and the broad axe head, which I've now done. I've taken them and made casts out of them by putting a single ingot each of aluminum bronze in the smelter, which I have some left over here, 32 actually to be fair, and then pouring into those the molten obsidian and the molten alumite that I needed to make my tool. So, let's go back up here. I wanted where is it? I don't want the battle axe. I want the lumber axe. So here's my plate. There's my binding. There's my rod. And there's the axe head itself. This is going to give me a pretty high durability, relatively high mining speed axe with reinforced 3 on it that has 4 modifiers. I'm only going to use one of those modifiers right now, so I don't have a huge amount of resources, but in the future I will be adding modifiers to my pick, my sword, and my axe to make them better, to make me happier about them. The only one that I'm adding right now is the redstone flexibility. So, I'm going to let all these tools charge up, and then I'm going to take them outside and show you what it is that they do. Hello folks. So I just built myself something that I'm pretty proud of, just for my own amusement, but I think it's really neat and I just wanted to show it to you before I go outside. So I put a hopper on top of my energetic infuser. Obviously I used the energetic infuser to restore redstone flux to all of my tools. And I put a hopper underneath. Originally what I put here was a treasure chest, but then I remembered that Bibliocraft included this thing called a tool rack, and really all it was some slabs and an iron ingot. And it's easy to make slabs out of the wood that I have, and I'm about to get more, so what the heck, right? So what I found is that it works perfectly well. When my tools are finished being refilled, they get tossed right out here, and as long as I only have 4, which at the moment I only have 3, and I can only think of one more that I really intend to make, this is perfect. It displays them and proves to me that they are finished and ready to go. So, now let's go see what it's like outside. If it's nighttime, I'm probably going to sleep, but if it's daytime, I'm going outside and chopping down some trees. It's night. Let me get some... Okay, folks. Here we go. Probably going to still have to kill some monsters, which is fine, as I have my new sword, which I'm very happy with. Chopped him down. Okay, boys. I died. Apparently my sword's not good enough. At some point soon, I'm going to need to add some features to it to make it better. I'm not so good at fighting without a sword. Probably should have made one out of wood before I came outside. Just a moment. Oh, I had all of my sticks on me when I went outside. I literally believe I have no wood whatsoever. Well, let's see if using this leftover bow and arrows that I had will allow me to do what I need to do and survive. Let's see, there's a little zombie. He didn't like that any. Good. I didn't want him to. This guy has been causing me trouble, and I bet this guy's gonna. Why don't I say I just preemptively put a couple of arrows in him. Let's see, what do I got? Okay, that's everybody. And I can come out here and break this and get my tools back. So, clearly I'm going to need to add some modifiers to my sword because it's not dangerous enough yet. And I want it to be a lot more dangerous. Turn off my lighting. Again, that's F7. Turn it on and off as needed. But let's see how my lumber axe does. It's a pretty expensive tool for me to have constructed. I really hope it's as valuable as it says it is. Let's see. So let's go ahead and chop down the base of this tree. Oh, wow. And all of the pieces of that tree just came down on me. Perfect. Just the way I like it. And because this is rechargeable, I don't feel bad about using it on some leaves occasionally, just to, clear them away. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes, clear out a whole bunch of trees nearby. I'm going to keep exclusively focused on... Oh, hey, look. Here's a little cave full of bad guys. I think I will make there be less of them. And then I'm going to light that area, because I'm willing to bet that this is the neighborhood that I've been hearing all the groans and cries from while I've been working on my mining processes. Come on, guys. It's time for you all to meet my new sword. And you have a bow, and that's frustrating. And you think you're going to explode, but you're sitting in water, and that means you can't explode so well. You can still do it, but it doesn't hurt me. So... or as much. If you look at my health bar, I clearly got hurt some. Let me eat some potatoes. Look at all the arrows stuck in my poor lion face. A little bit of food. Put me in a better mood. And chop down some more of these trees. All the wood. And a removal of a whole bunch of shade from near my house. I don't like it. The monsters have a whole bunch of area near my house that they can just hang out in, nice and safe, because there's all this shade. That seems wrong to me. I like my house to be safe. You know how much time that I spend wandering around lighting things up just so that I can have a slightly safer cave down below. I should do the same thing up here. Well, now I am. Now that I have an axe. If you'll note, my axe has already taken 2,000 RF worth of use. That's fine. All I need to do is use some of this wood I'm chopping down, or the coal, which I'm much more likely to use at the moment, and refill my axe and the rest of my tools, and I will be good to go to continue using them for a long time. Now, I had said I was going to come down here and light this up, so let me put my torches in my hand and turn my lighting display back on with F7. And I'm going to take this area and light it up so that there's absolutely no yellow, and certainly none of that red that I see over there. That's just not okay. I don't like red spaces at all. There. Less mobs will appear at that neighborhood. Maybe some use of coal and torches out here on the surface will help my life be just a little bit better and a little bit safer. So, I'm going to light up this whole area. It is quite a lot of torches that I'm going to end up using, but that's fine because torches are made of coal, which I now have a lot of, and wood. Sometime later I will come out here and build myself a house, and then I will want the whole area lit up anyway, so this is certainly not a waste of time or effort. It's just probably a little bit early, but I don't like monsters spawning on my house. I don't like monsters spawning in my house, and clearly I don't like monsters spawning around my house. So a little bit of torch, a little bit of light makes things better. 3, 2, 1, and there's all my torches. Now I'm going to go chop down a couple more trees. See all this foliage dying off? That's so nice. To me, that makes me very happy. It means that there's less area here that might be lit up red or that might be usable at night. During the day, as safety. I got a little bit distracted by this Ars Magica Moonstone ore. This is a very rare ore. Effectively, it only comes from meteors that fall from the sky, and they make big booming noises, but I hadn't heard any. But clearly, in the time that I've been downstairs, mining away, clearing up neighborhood, at least one meteor has landed near my house. An inventory, slowly filling with wood. What a nice thing. I'm going to leave this witchwood tree alone. Is this witchwood or rubber? This is witchwood. Because, again, that's an Ars Magica tree. They will be useful later, but at the moment, I'm happy that all of the trees that I'm knocking down are of the exact same type, because that means that all the logs that are produced from my logging expedition all stack with each other, which means that when I toss them in my inventory, and in my chests downstairs, they will all pile up together nice and neat, and I won't have 4 or 5 different types of wood clogging up my inventory. It's a petty little thing. It's pretty minor, but I'm happy to put in the effort of not chopping down extra trees just so that I can have that small advantage. Now, let me hit U, which will change my map from above ground to underground mode, so that you guys can see the area that I'm clearing out around my base. As you see, there's less and less pink and white on the map near my house. That's a good thing. And I do have magnet mode on. That's what's drawing all of these saplings to me as I get close enough. Don't know why these squares here mark themselves as red all the time. That seems excessive. That means that a monster can spawn on that square or those squares down there, even in the middle of the daytime. That doesn't seem right to me. But I don't make the rules for the game. I just survive by them. So, let me go and collect all these little extra blocks of wood that might be falling and all these little extra saplings that might be falling. And then I'll meet you all downstairs for my next project. Welcome back, folks. So I did a bunch of mining and collected myself a bunch of materials, including the aluminum necessary for me to make myself some more alumite, because I decided I might as well make myself this tool out of alumite. I might as well make sure that it's durable. So, what am I making? Well, I'm making what's known as an excavator. An excavator has a head. It's very much like the lumber axe in that I'm going with a large plate, a paper tough binding, a slime tough rod. I used obsidian for the plate. Meant I had to go dig up a little bit more obsidian. And I made myself some extra aluminite. Now I'm going to put the spares over here. While I was experimenting, I also found... wrong thing in there. I also found, much to my excitement, that if you place a fluid duct, much like we did over here, and a hopper and a chest, that you can get this casting table to act exactly the same. I was concerned that it would pull out whatever mold you were using, but it doesn't. So here I am with my Alamite excavator head, and because I'm most likely going to not be using excavator heads next on my casting table, I'm going to remove this cast, put in the ingot cast, and turn the switch off. Now I have on either side, completely automatable, very easy to use. I can either take basins worth or ingots worth, and they automatically gets pulled out and put in chests, or I can cast individual heads of various items. I always like automating tasks, even tasks I'm only going to do a couple of times, so it may turn out that I do them many times, and was surprised to have done so. So, again, I'm in here about to make an excavator. I have a lumber axe, I have my Alamite pick, and now I'm going to have an excavator. What is an excavator? Well, what it does, let me pull this back out so you can see it. Over here, it digs out a 3x3 plate, a square, if you will, of whatever it is that I'm digging. So every action, I get 9 items dug. So let's call that the dirt scoop. So there's my dirt scoop. And just like all of the rest of them, I feel that it's worth putting redstone flux on it. So now I have 4 tools. Note I have 4 tools in my tool rack, all of which use redstone flux, all of which recharge out of the exact same place, all of which go through the same process, and all of which allow me to go and dig and mine much more successfully. Now, just because I want you to be able to see what it does, I'm going to pull this out while it's still barely filled, and see when I dig an area, it gets all 6. If I looked at the top of a block and did that, it would dig downwards and get an entire area down. It is a tool that takes a little bit of finesse to learn how to use, but when you run into a mining situation where you have a whole bunch of dirt or gravel that you wish to get rid of, it's great. And when you're in one of those situations where you need to go collect 100,000 sand, it is the only tool worth having. So, I'm going to finish recharging this tool, and I'm going to call this an end of an episode. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do in the next episode, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Talk to you later.